it back, watch it turn to a singer. Get it fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my sit the back that like a popo. No do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down the side.
It's the second round of the Madden Ultimate Team Playoffs. It's the coach in Orlando as we get you set for the NFL on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. With that, let's get on over to AT&T Stadium in Arlington for the call from Jerry World. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And, Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. First carry now. This is Johnson. And right away, he lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Second down, McNabb. Jerry Rice, open right side. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And
he fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. Adrian Peterson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again? He repaid him, picking up a first down.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and these creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Here's Johnson, and he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
4th down. Here's Jackson rolling to his right. And that is going to be incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. A little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game. That they've got to match them point for point, as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run again on 1st down. Peterson. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job. Hey, but, you know, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down throw. McNabb bringing it in. Jackson left side. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple.
And that is caught by the tight end Reed. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed from 13 yards out. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead.
You know, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
And now here come the Cowboys. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script, I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. On second down, Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And whistle blown, a timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. First down, it's McNabb. And Reed with it over the middle. And he takes it in. Touchdown.
Oh, crap.
Hey, what's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. For real. Keep the rest. Hey. I got that chicken to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that car. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hanging and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap.
It's the second round of the Madden Ultimate.
Here's Blair Walsh now about ready to get us started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
And no one can run the football like Lamar Jackson from the quarterback position. The most dynamic guy with the ball in his hands since probably Michael Vick. Got more accurate throwing the football each and every year at Louisville. But how about this one? A first-round pick in 2017, the number 32 pick in the first round. The last guy to do that at Louisville, Teddy Bridgewater, the same exact pick when he came out. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback And no better way to do it than to establish a running game early.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down. So
they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Lucky 56.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
We can talk about bend but don't break all we want, but the defense now, we're going to find out just how flexible and pliable they really are. Can they bounce back after that type of a run, that type of momentum against them, and find a way to slow down this offense?
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Chris Johnson, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's Locke. Blitz coming, and down he goes. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Slant route caught by Edible. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12. From the 50, it's Locke. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. John Jenkins able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. They'll fake it. Now Locke. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And they can't bring him down. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
But you talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Now Johnson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They go play action now. Jackson taking a shot for Samuel, and that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And this is caught inside the 5. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
Extra point up and good by Sanders. So 2 quarters. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3rd and long, it's Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fast footwork by Sanders. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head. Of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Taking a shot for Samuel. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And it is now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Right, 675. Line 40, easy, alert. One guy, 53.
To throw on second down is Luck. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing is Love. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat. And the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one goes for 36 yards. Time for a break. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Chris Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Every time I watch LT blow up plays just like that one, I think of one quote. You can run, but you can't hide.
He won a record 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards back in his day. He was also the league MVP in 1986.
One of 2 defensive players who won the MVP award in the NFL. The second one, Alan Page with the Minnesota Vikings, the linchpin of their Purple People Eaters defense.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Here's Jackson to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. Now
here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Back to the air. Luck on second down. A dump off for Charles. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. As the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. This offense so far on third down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Luck. And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. As they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Here's Brad Wing now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And Sanders now to return. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll buy some time right. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just...
Wow, I did really, really good, man. That's your shit out there.
Know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where to waste that. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? It reply, how you put up with this song and dance, soulless buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me. Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance. Puerto Rican in the breathing heavy. Little had my looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. With the money and fame, the price come heavy. The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Come back.
It's the second round of the Madden Ultimate Team Playoffs. It's the coach in Orlando as we get you set for the NFL on EA Sports. Between our visitors and the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a handoff working right. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Play action. Now Jackson. Rush coming in. He's taken down. John Randall in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. He's going to launch this thing way downfield into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former Cowboy, Deion Sanders. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down. Where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Shoves him away. Oh, now he bowls him over. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Now they'll throw it with Elway. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys have taken a first quarter lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. At the end of 1, 7-0 is our score. We're back to Arlington in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, you and I both know that those guys out in the field, they're giving every effort that they've got. But Bryant Young, he just played the game with a different level of intensity and effective play from start to finish.
Well, he was an 8-time winner of the 49ers' prestigious Lynn Eshmon Award, and some people may not know what that is, but it was given to the player who best exemplifies inspirational and courageous play.
And think about the 49ers' history. No other player won it more than twice. Not Ronnie Lott, not Jerry Rice, not any of the other great 49ers.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Throwing is Jackson. He sets to fire deep. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation still in the first half, decide if there's a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one. And look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think.
And touchdown! Calvin Johnson, 35 yards. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and it's now 14-0. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Now a handoff, running off tackle right. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. To throw is Jackson, sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And this is going to be incomplete.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them. How to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's the clout.
It's time to punch one of 2 tickets to the Super Bowl. It's the coach, and this is the Madden Ultimate Team Playoffs. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and the New England Patriots. With that, let's head on up to Foxborough. Standing by with the call at Gillette Stadium, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's Blair Walsh now about ready to get us started. And we are underway in Foxborough. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
On the ground, this is Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. They go play action with Jackson. Rolling to his right. Taking a shot. And got his man complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 58 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
4th down, here's Jackson. And Ingram holds it in. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Evan Ingram from 13 yards out. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And on the return, here comes Adam Jones. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
Yeah.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, 78 yards. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss only in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme, come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
Taking a shot for Samuel. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
Yeah, that's okay. They just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
Now it's Jackson. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 in excellent field position here.
Let's go! Grand 38!
And they'll try the ground game here with a running back. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later... Go ahead and take your shot.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Come on, let's go! One!
From the gun, here's McNabb. It's brought in by Dodson. And he's in.
Oh, crap.
Josh Doctson, 26 yards. And the Pats able to cash in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3.
Oh my God.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
They'll run it with Johnson, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots, as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now they run with a backup. It's Chris Ivory. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now whistles blow and the Patriots are going to take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They'll run for it. Ivory. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
I am shocked that they would go for it there. Talk about a gutty call, but that's all about having faith in your offensive line, and they come through there on 4th down.
As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down, Ivory. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. On 1st down, this is Ivory. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. First half in the books. You're watching. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
Oh, shit, I got robbed.
And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
It's a before it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second down, McNabb. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first. And that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go. What?
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
They start on the ground with Ivory. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Jackson. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Patriots take over. They're going to have terrific field position. Try the right side here. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case.
Back now in Foxborough. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. In for the score. And the Pats take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Damn.
Walsh adds the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. Spinning away. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They stay on the ground. Ivory again. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that one. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Wow. Touchdown.
Play action. It's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Now Jackson. And that one drops.
Damn.
As he got popped as he was throwing it.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Here we go with Ivory. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
It would have been a long field goal attempt, so when you only need a few inches, this, to me, is the right decision. And they wind up picking up the conversion on foot.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I'll Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
If the squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah. Hey. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. 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 Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, blue Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Cross move quick like AI. Chain shine bright like daytime. Stack big bread like waist high. I don't do lanes. Little watch out like 2 chains. I done swerved in a new lane. Bang at the crit, do things. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up,
Ah, the big day has finally arrived. It's the coach who will wear the crown as a Super Bowl champion of the Madden Ultimate Team Playoffs. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly, your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
Allow me a second here to gush, because in his college career, the only player in NCAA history to rush for over 1,500 yards and pass for over 3,500 yards in a season, and he did it twice.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. Yet he only won the Heisman Trophy once.
And now with the play clock winding down, Jason Garrett opts to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they'll run it here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And they'll go on the ground. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Ray Lewis up from his linebacker spot to make the play.
I think when people start talking about the greatest Ravens of all time, Ray Lewis's name comes up pretty fast, doesn't it? Tackles like that, just the tip of the iceberg when you start to talk about his talents.
He was their second pick after the move to Baltimore. What was that, 96?
Yeah, 1996. Jonathan Ogden was the first.
And Ray Lewis also two-time Super Bowl champion and the MVP of Super Bowl 35. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. Taking a shot for Samuel. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll run it for the first time with Ricky Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ricky
Oh my gosh,
Williams,
Cowboys were
27 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game. Because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a fourth quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this score.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
Yeah, I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They ended up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
And it is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And now possession's going to go over with the football at the 20-yard line. The first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
All right, here we go.
Play fake. Here's Marino. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Randy Moss, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And he's able to put it through.
He was simply incredible at finding the end zone during his tenure in the NFL.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. The drive begins with a run by Ivory. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
And he powers his way up past the 30. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
3rd down, here's Ivory. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Jackson now taking a shot for Samuel into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36, and they take possession of the
If the squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah. Hey. Same squad. Drop top, coupe, dodge, range drives. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad. Drop top, coupe, dodge, range drives. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad. Cross move quick like AI. Chain shine bright like daytime. Stack big bread like waist high. I don't do lanes. Little watch out like 2 chains. I done swerved in a new lane. Bang at the grit, do things. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. Same squad. Drop top, coupe, dodge, range drives. Big bang plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, it ain't right. Same squad. Drop top, coupe, dodge, range drives. Plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah, no it ain't. They ain't talking cash, so I did the race. NASCAR with the pace, feed you water on the chain. Get no love where I ain't from. When I'm on the beat, I make it thumb. I need that bread like every crumb. Came up from nothing, made a sum. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. Same squad. Drop top, coupe, dodge, range drives. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad. Drop top, coupe, dodge, range drives. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Ay. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, yeah. Feel like in the real
want you when no, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut, mayday. Bubbles and these models it's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock down. Feel like in the real life, dripping all sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take my love. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I feel like a boss right now. Talk to the man right now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Shorty oughta been my me. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She love me in the gray sweatpants. You never see like a boss on a I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. Up, downs, no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me feel like in the real life, dripping all sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine.
Hey everybody, it's the coach here in Orlando, getting you set for this edition of Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the offense getting set, 1st and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now Dalton. He's got his man here. It's Green. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Now Joe Mixon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
52, 93, 44, 44.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running...
Tyler Boyd, he's going to go! And all the way in for a Cincinnati score! Tyler Boyd, 39 yards. And the Bengals are going to take a 1st quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at Brett Hundley, the former UCLA Bruin, he'll be the man under center.
He's someone who can definitely beat you with his legs when a play breaks down. But for him to take the next step, for him to continue to get better in the league, pocket presence, able to deliver, and accurately, that's going to be his mission. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fights through, and now a crease. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now. Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And now running right through it. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 more there and another first down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They run with their short yardage man, Ivory. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot. And on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call.
This is a question of who wants it more. Easy to get stuck behind all the big bodies, but you've got to find a space and fight forward for the first down.
They'll try to run with Ivory. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them. On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. Sanders' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. 30, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there, 59 yards. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. "35 seconds, all that remains in the first half on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. It's coming, down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He's got a man complete. They give him a gain of 38. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout. And they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. The field goal unit on the sideline. They're going to go with 1 second left. They'll throw now on the final play. Rolling to his right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they...
And it's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there on third down. And even 40 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Going to throw deep, and this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better, that they work on training camp, off-season work, OTAs, but also a lot of these guys have dance backgrounds, ballet backgrounds, and they take that and carry it over to the football field.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
No way, that touchdown. No way.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on that.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for?
Accelerating, and off he goes. The 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Andy Dalton with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
the hell in this one? Wow.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you open up the...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
They run with Ivory. He's been busy tonight. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. In for the score. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. The ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Defensively, they know the situation. They stack the line. Heck, that was a goal line set right there.
And it's the right play for them, exactly what they have to do. They want to take away every gap, every crack, and make sure no one can get through. But here's the deal, though. You've worked on offense all year long about these types of defensive fronts. If they can penetrate it at all, your runner has a chance to go
Yeah, I was going to say, it could be a house call. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Totally stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. They'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early, and then you kind of relax a little bit, to step on the gas.
And this is taken in at the 5. That one goes for 36 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Chris Ivory with time running out. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll put it out to the 25. Getting ready to go again, here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium, because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet.
44. Here we go.
Back to throw. And he took that in one-handed. What a grab. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over, and we'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's across for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So they'll quickly now signal for the timeout. And it's definitely not looking good, but at least they'll have one final play to hope for that miracle and get him in the end zone. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Thank you, Nick 5. You have a great night and be blessed. I just subscribed to your channel. Thank the all out there that are viewing my football games, my Call of Duty World War II, and the poker games. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Hmm.